The 2022 Winter Olympics in Beijing ignited a new community of figure skating fans across the world. As we know, the women's single skating was one that will go down in history. We had the excitement of the record-breaking quad jumps and the extremely high level of competition, and we also had a front row seat to the unfortunate doping scandal of Kamila Valieva, and we also witnessed the disappointment of some skaters in the women's singles competition. It's hard to imagine that 4 years have already passed, and it's time for Anna Shcherbakova to pass on the title of Olympic champion. I've narrowed it down to 3 skaters who I think have the best chance of taking home gold. These are all my own opinions, and I would love to hear what your opinions are in the comments below. Let me know if you agree, and if not, who do you think is going to win? So first up is Kaori Sakamoto. Does anyone else just love Kaori? She is just such a ray of sunshine in a world of figure skating that can sometimes be quite bleak. She is a 3-time world champion. She won in 2022, 2023 and 2024. In 2025, she passed on the world title to Alysa Liu, who totally deserved it. She was phenomenal. If you haven't watched that performance, go and watch it. Kaori is also a 5-time national champion and has won 2 previous medals at the Olympics. The 2026 Olympics will actually be Kaori's 3rd Olympic Games, and unfortunately, she has announced that she plans to retire after the Olympics in 2026. She took home Olympic bronze in 2022, and I think everybody was so happy to see her reaction. There was that infamous scene of Alexandra Trusova crying with her heavy black eye makeup which was dripping down her face, and then you had Anna Shcherbakova, who was just staring off into the distance, standing by herself, looking almost defeated even though she'd just become Olympic champion. You have 15-year-old Kamila Valieva, who is clearly devastated that her figure skating dreams have just been shattered. And then you have Kaori. Kaori has said that she didn't even realise that moment was real until she felt the weight of the medal around her neck. For her free skate, Kaori will be performing to All That Jazz from Chicago, and for her short programme, she will be performing to Time to Say Goodbye. I would love Kaori to win, as it's her last season, her last Olympics, and she has been skating really well all this season. The problem is, Kaori does not have any Ultra C elements at the moment, meaning she doesn't have a triple axel, she doesn't have any quad jumps, which means she has to skate clean. That's not to say she can't win without these elements, but it just means she has to be perfect. And keep in mind that Kaori was beaten by Alysa Liu this year at the World Championships. But I actually think this may work in Kaori's favour, because if she's been winning all along, all season, there's not much of a fire under you to keep going and to keep pushing, whereas the fact that the competition is so high, and there's a real chance that Kaori will not win, that might give Kaori the motivation to ensure she gets that gold medal. And the idea of Kaori being the Olympic champion is also highly dependent on an 18-year-old from Russia who will be performing as a neutral athlete. And that is, of course, Adeliia Petrosian. Adeliia is the only Russian female skater who is allowed to skate in this year's Olympics, and she will be competing as an individual neutral athlete. After Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Russian skaters were banned from international competitions. However, the International Skating Union created a new pathway for Russian skaters to become a neutral athlete. To be considered for this, they must have rigorous anti-doping testing, they must have no affiliation with the Russian military, and they must not have supported the war on social media or publicly. Shockingly, Adeliia was one of the only skaters that satisfied these conditions. She is currently the only skater who has any quad jumps up her sleeve, and she plans to land 3 quads in the Olympics. If she lands her quads, it will be nearly impossible to beat her. Adeliia is also a very artistic skater in my opinion, and her performances are actually enjoyable to watch. It's not just a jumping drill. She's performing to Michael Jackson for her short programme, and Nocturne and Yo Soy Maria for her free programme. Although Team Tuperitze has had some questionable choreography in the past, Adelia's Michael Jackson choreography is actually quite impressive. I love the fact that they have the classic Michael Jackson moves like the moonwalk. Adeliia has been winning nearly every competition in the past 5 years, and she seems to be unbeatable. However, we have to remember the pressure of being the only Russian skater could get to her. You have to be very mentally strong to withstand the pressure of the Olympics, and as we've seen before, the pressure of the media can definitely affect a skater's performance. Adelia's name will no doubt be in the headlines, and many people will have a problem with a Russian skater performing, even if she is technically a neutral athlete. If she cracks under the pressure and falls during her jumps, the gold medal could still be up for grabs. She has also dealt with injury this season and even considered dropping out of the Olympics. I think Adeliia is a perfectionist and would rather not skate than skate badly, so the fact that she is skating suggests that she does feel ready and that she does feel like she's able to win gold. And in my opinion, there's only one other skater aside from Kaori who could realistically win, and that's Miss Alysa Liu from the United States. Alysa has had an interesting journey the past few years. She started out being described as a prodigy on the ice and landed a triple axel quite early on in her career. She placed 7th in the 2022 Olympics and then announced that she was retiring. She said that when she retired, she felt that she was skating for everyone else and not for herself. She said that taking this time off helped her get a new perspective, and she said that now she would still be skating even if everyone in the world disappeared. Does that make anyone else emotional? I love Alysa. She seems like such a genuine girl, and there must be so much pressure when you're labelled as a prodigy from such a young age. Her break clearly worked well for her because when she returned, she came back and won the 2025 World Championships, taking everybody by surprise. So at the 2022 Olympics, we know that Alysa came 7th and Kaori came 3rd. But the fact that Alysa has beaten Kaori so recently, I truly think she has a shot at the gold medal if Adelia's quads don't work out. For her short programme, she was originally performing to This Is How It Feels by Laufey and David, but she has since scrapped that performance after the whole controversy with David, so her new short programme will be a surprise for all of us. And for her free programme, she will be performing a Lady Gaga medley. Alysa is a phenomenal performer, and during her free programme at the World Championships, she had everyone up on their feet. I'm hopeful that her win this year at the World Championships could give her the confidence boost she needs to definitely make it on the Olympic podium and possibly even win gold. The fact that they are creating a new short programme for Alysa possibly gives them the opportunity to add in a triple axel. If Alysa performs perfectly and lands all of her jumps and has a triple axel, I really think she could win. So to summarise my opinion on these three skaters, I think if Adeliia lands at least one quad, I think she will win. If Adeliia falls during her quads, I think it could go either way. It could be Kaori, it could be Alysa. If Alysa has a triple axel, I do think she will beat Kaori by a very small margin. Next up, we have Amber Glenn. Amber will be skating to Like a Prayer by Madonna for her short programme, and I Will Find You and The Return for her free programme. One of Amber's biggest advantages is the fact that she has a triple axel in both her free skate and her short programme. However, her triple axels have been a little inconsistent lately. Just recently at the Finlandia Trophy, she landed her triple axel in the short programme and fell in her free skate, which knocked her from first place to second place. There has been some talk of Amber adding a second triple axel into her short programme, and if she lands these jumps with no under rotations or step outs, she definitely has potential to be on the podium. Amber placed 5th at the World Championships this year, and as we know, Alysa Liu won gold. However, Amber is the reigning national champion, ahead of Alysa Liu. So overall, in my opinion, this just shows that Amber is unpredictable, which could work in her favour. She could be a potential Olympic champion hidden in plain sight. But the reality is, due to her injuries, illness, possibly her age, Amber has been slightly inconsistent this season. She has spoken openly in the past about her mental health struggles and her challenges with anxiety and depression. She has also suffered from 2 concussions in the past, which she said negatively impacted her brain-body connection. All of this considered, Amber could struggle with the pressure of the Olympics and the fact that she is now one of the older skaters competing at 26 years old. Can we just take a minute to appreciate how crazy it is that 26 is considered old in female singles skating? Overall, Amber definitely has a shot at the podium, especially if she has her nerves under control, adds a second triple axel to her short programme, and lands all of her jumps. Next up, we have Mone Chiba from Japan. Mone is 20 years old, and apparently she is very close with Yuzuru Hanyu and says he is like a big brother to her. To be honest, I didn't know a lot about Mone until recently. She has sort of slowly been improving year by year and has only emerged in the last few years as an Olympic contender. Mone won bronze at the 2025 World Championships, and she said she was very happy with this as she did not expect to be on the podium. She has previously won gold at Skate Canada, the Finlandia Trophy, and she is also a 4 continents champion. At this year's Grand Prix final, she placed 5th after 2 falls in her free skate. For her Olympic performance, she will be skating to The Last Dance and Sakura for her short program, and Romeo and Juliet for her free skate. Mone does not have any ultra ski elements, but she does have several triple-triple combinations and is a very expressive performer, which could help her make the podium. In my opinion, Mone realistically doesn't have a chance to win gold, as she doesn't have a triple axel, she doesn't have any quads, and she also took several falls quite recently, which could affect her nerves this close to the Olympics. That being said, her personal overall best score is 217.23, and when you compare this to, for example, Alysa Liu's personal best, which is 226.67, they are not miles apart in terms of scoring. Now, I know we are used to massive gaps in scoring when the Russians would compete with their quads and triple axels, but I do feel that this year the competition is so close. If we take Adeliia out of the equation, Mone could potentially be on the podium as maybe a bronze or a silver, but for that to happen, Adeliia, Alysa, Kaori, and Amber would all have to have disastrous performances. The positive here is that Mone is only 20 years old, so she will be 24 at the next Olympics and will already have the initial Olympic nerves out of her system. Overall, I think it's highly unlikely that Mone will place on the podium. She will probably place 4th or 5th, but as I said, this is a great trial run for the 2030 Olympics, where I think she would have a much greater chance at becoming Olympic champion. Finally, we have Isabeau Levito from the United States. Now, Isabeau has sort of been missing from a lot of the Olympic commentary for some reason. Maybe it's because the competition is so high that people already have their bets placed on who will win, but in my opinion, Isabeau definitely has a chance at the podium. She was the junior world champion in 2022, the US national champion in 2023, and she is a 2-time national bronze medalist. She placed 2nd in the 2024 World Championships behind Kaori Sakamoto, and also placed 2nd in the Grand Prix final in 2023. Most recently, she was the silver medalist at Skate Canada 2025. Maybe the reason we haven't heard a lot of commentary about Isabeau is because she has missed quite a few competitions over the last few years due to a right foot injury. She withdrew from the 2024 Finlandia Trophy as well as the 2025 US Nationals. Even at the qualifying competition for Milan, she said that while her right foot had fully healed, it still felt weaker as she had not been able to train with it while healing. At the 2025 World Championships, she fell on one of her jumps and placed 5th overall. She said that after she fell, she wanted to leave the ice but kept fighting. She said, "I'm so glad I kept pushing through each element. What I always remember is that in 2014, when Yuzuru Hanyu first won the Olympics, he fell a couple of times during his skate, but he didn't ever give up, and in the end, he still won." It's very refreshing to hear this optimism from such a young skater, and I think if more skaters and coaches had this mindset, the women's singles competition would be much healthier and happier. For the Olympics, she will perform her short program to a Sophia Loren medley and her free skate to Say. Isabeau's overall personal best score is 215.74, which again is not far off from her competition. I am worried about her previous injury making a comeback before the Olympics, and I'm also worried about the fact that she is only 18 and will be one of the youngest skaters. This could result in her being more nervous and possibly falling under the pressure, but she also has the advantage of having nothing to lose. When you compare her to someone like Kaori has already said she is retiring after this Olympics, so it will not only be her last Olympics but her last competition. Kaori also has more of an expectation to win gold, which adds a huge amount of pressure. When it comes to Isabeau, she has at least 2 more Olympics in her future and is also not necessarily expected to win, so in a way this could work in her favour. I think it is unlikely that Isabeau will make the podium, and if she does, it will most likely be a bronze medal as a result of one of the top contenders having a disastrous skate. But similar to Mone, Isabeau is only at the beginning of her senior career and will no doubt be a contender for Olympic gold in the future. So in summary, I think the only skater that has a chance of making the podium out of these 3 is Amber Glenn. The fact that she has a triple axel paired with her experience as a skater really makes me feel like she could win bronze. I do, however, think that one of the top 3, Kaori, Alysa and Adeliia, would have to have a fall of some sort for Amber to make the podium, but I honestly would not be surprised to see her there, especially if she skates clean and has 1 or more triple axels. So my final prediction is gold, Adeliia, silver, Alysa, and bronze, Kaori. I'd love you to leave your prediction for the top 3 in the comments below, and we can all compare and see if we're on the same page about this. There might be a skater I didn't even mention that you think could be on the podium. I will be posting many more videos coming up to this Olympic season, so make sure you subscribe, and if there's anything specific you would like me to do a breakdown of, let me know in the comments.